Well, hello everybody. Saturday night here in Appalachia, Saturday evening, beautiful Saturday evening, hot. Been outside working again, and it's hard to believe it's the end of the first week of October because it is warm and hot and humid. But it feels good to be outside working. Do it while we can. And so last Sunday, the title was Weak Men Create Hard Times. And it was at that same time, that Hurricane Helene hit and devastated a large swath of western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee. Well, I happen to be in western North Carolina, the very southwestern North Carolina, and the hurricane went right around us. It was supposed to come right over us, and it diverted to the east and went and sat on top of Asheville, Chimney Rock, Black Mountain, and just destroyed some of those areas. And they're still counting the bodies, still finding the bodies. Been watching a lot of videos. Boy, was there a lot of water for all those poor people who lived on rivers and creeks and streams. Yeah, I saw where those rivers were 20 to 30 feet higher than normal. And that's a lot of water, washing away a lot of homes and businesses, cars and trailers, people, dogs, cats. Just terrible. And so then during the week, there's been a lot of videos of men banding together to go on rescue missions. I saw a lot of guys bring it with their own private helicopters, whole crews of helicopters. I saw guys on horseback with donkeys filled to the brim with supplies, just like you would see in a John Wayne movie. If you ever watched the movie The Searchers, where they go out, got a couple of pack mules. That's what this guy was doing. He had 3 or 4 pack mules, maybe more, going through the woods to get the people. And can't even imagine the loss of animal life between the squirrels, the fox, the bear, etc. It's just mind-blowing. But what we are seeing, also the crews that are coming all the way from, I think from New Brunswick or Nova Scotia, from Florida, from all over the country, crews of men, whether they're linemen or electricians and plumbers and carpenters, anybody who can work with their hands, anybody who can fix something. They're coming from all over. And I saw this when I was in New Jersey, and we had 2 years in a row. We had Hurricane Irene and Superstorm Sandy, and they just devastated the area I was in. And I talked to Hurricane Irene they actually blew open the floodgates on this dam that was upriver from me. And I was living on the Rahway River, and I went to bed with the river and woke up with a lake. Unfortunately, I was 3 floors up. The people on the first floor and all the houses along there weren't so lucky. Everybody got flooded out. And what I saw over the next few weeks as I was walking around were a lot of linemen, electrical linemen, coming from all over the country to help. And that's what we're seeing again here. And so if the weak men create hard times create and bring out the strong men. And that's what we're seeing. The guys who can fix things, the guys that can work with their hands, the guys who have integrity, they're coming out and they're trying to help people. And they're getting blocked by FEMA, supposedly. Government attracts weak men. Government attracts weak men. It was Hayek wrote about it in the book The Road to Serfdom back in the 40s. I read that book. And he talked a lot about how government attracts weak men. And that's what we're seeing right now. So, crisis and opportunity, the same letter in the Chinese alphabet. This unfortunate crisis is bringing out it's the opportunity for the strong men to band together and show themselves. And we can send our prayers, we can send our donations. I found one group, it's called Mercury One. I got to look into it some more today. But that's taking donations and supposedly doing some good work. But these are the kind of things that are going to bring out the strong men. And the weak men that have finagled their way into power all across this country of ours, they don't know what they're in for. But the strong men are going to prevail. It's just a matter of time. It doesn't matter what happens in this next election. That's just a bunch of weak men. Those are all weak men. Some of them look like they're strong men, but they're not. Those are the weak men. If you want to see the strong men, there's a sheriff nearby here who gave a speech. A video is up on Twitter. And he's banding together the local sheriffs. And they are going to uphold their oath to the Constitution. And they will not enforce any laws that they deem unconstitutional. And that's what it's coming to. The county sheriff is the top law enforcement officer in your county. Most people don't know that. We're seeing a shift happening in some of the counties around the country. I've talked about this before. The counties of Idaho or Oregon that want to join Idaho is a great example. Western North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, and Northeast Georgia could become its own state. They have a lot more in common than they do with Knoxville or Charlotte or Raleigh or Atlanta. The lines are going to be redrawn. And it's going to start with the county sheriffs, I think, and local law enforcement. And I hope local law enforcement will do the right thing. I see too many of these films of Board of Education meetings or city council meetings where people are being thrown out because they want to speak their piece. There's a lot of frustration out there. I know I've talked about this one before. I have a lot of frustration when I watch these videos. It's tough. But people aren't going to stop. They're going to stand up and be heard. And they're going to stand up for change and to do what's right. And we're going to stand with them one way or another. Because our big cities are headed in the wrong direction and have been for quite some time. And our leadership in this country is headed in the wrong direction, and it has been for quite some time. So see what you can do to support your local sheriffs, police chiefs. I know a lot of them are elected. District attorneys. You know, the certain entities around our world have infiltrated a lot of the district attorneys' offices around the country, particularly in the big cities. But flyover area where I'm at and have grown up, spent the most of my life, is not going to take much more. You can see it coming. So find out where the strong men are gathering for things like these hurricanes and tornadoes and things like that, floods. Find out how you can help. And if you're a young man, I highly encourage you to learn how to work with your hands, whether it's electric, plumbing, carpentry, small engine repair. This is what the world needs. If weak men bring hard times, if weak men create hard times, somebody has to rebuild the world. And it's going to be the men who can work with their hands and the women that stand with them. It's not going to be the pencil pushers, the keyboard warriors. It's going to be the men who can work with their hands. Because somebody's got to build this stuff and rebuild it. And some of it's going to be like we're seeing in the Asheville area. It's going to be rebuilt from scratch. And white collar folks aren't going to do it. I've spent my entire career working with white collar guys. And I can tell you that's where a lot of weak men go. Some of them just have no integrity. The backstabbing I've seen is just incredible. Honesty, integrity, those words don't resonate with these guys. No. It's the guys that are outside helping people and working with their hands. That's where you find some level of honesty and integrity. And I'm speaking in generalities, all right? But I know what happens to me when I'm out working with my hands, what it does to my physical, mental, emotional, spiritual bodies. It makes a big difference. So do what you can. Start small if you have to, but do something. Learn how to do something with your hands. Even if it's cutting grass, which is what I just finished, which is why I'm so sweaty. Right? Cutting grass or raking leaves or whatever, cleaning up tree trunks. Anything. Washing cars, delivering newspapers like we used to do in the old days, or washing dishes. It all counts. It'll make you stronger. Alright, so say a prayer for all these people that are going to be digging out of the mud for a very long time. Over in western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee, and even down in South Georgia, Valdosta, and the Florida Panhandle. I haven't even seen any videos from down there. I've seen so many videos from western North Carolina. But the best the federal government could do is offer people $750. Same thing they did in Maui. There's a lot of evil at work here. We can give millions and billions of dollars to Ukraine and Israel, but we can't help our own people. There's something wrong here. And people aren't going to put up with it much longer. You can see it coming, the frustration levels rising to the top, and eventually it's going to blow. So just be prepared. Get out of the cities. Get out of the cities. You got to get out of the cities, yeah, because that's where the powder cake really is. So, I wish you all the best of luck this week. Help some strong men. Find out how you can help any little way. And we do the best we can with what we have. So until next time, cosmic energy, earth energy, heart energy. Send loving energy out to all beings, all dimensions, all timelines, all realities. May this day be filled with passion, compassion, loving kindness, and courage. Aho.